Welcome back to NAB 2014. I'm Michael Artsis. We're at the Teradek booth in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Las Vegas Convention Center. Thank you so much for joining us for your continuing coverage of NAB 2014 Live. I just want to say that Ben, who was working behind the scenes here, did a wonderful job, really helped hold down the fort. Unfortunately, he's leaving. He has to go to another show right now, but I just want to thank him for all his service here. Ben, thank you. You did a great job. He's from Blaze Streaming Media. So I've got a great guy here from a great company. It's TriCaster. Philip, thank you so much for joining us.
Man, I'm pumped to be here chatting with you today.
I'm excited. It's always good to see you, man. And you jump on here, you've got like the energy that I've got. You're like happy to see me. I'm happy to see you. TriCaster is a great product, and you've got three new replay systems that you've debuted.
Yeah, here at NAB, it's been pretty exciting. You know, when Newtek designs equipment, we don't try to design a better widget. We don't try to design, if there's a video switcher, our goal is not to make a better video switcher. It's to design the next generation workflow. So what's next? Not just an iteration of something that's already on the market. So when you see the TriCaster, it's not a video switcher, it is an all-in-one production solution that allows one person to do the work of six. You know, adding in multiple cameras, rolling in graphics, rolling in videos, blah, 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 blah. All the different bells and whistles you need to make a live show.
So a few years ago, I set up a studio. I was hired to set up a studio in New York City. It was this beautiful, I mean, you remember this, but it was this, I'm just telling the audience, it was this beautiful office building in New York City, beautiful offices, and we turned it into a TV studio and control room to do live internet broadcasting. We used a TriCaster, I guess it was the 8500 at the time, and it was state-of-the-art, brand new out of the box, and exactly what you just said is what we did. We did Skypes, we did in-studio guests, we did phone calls, we did graphics, we did everything. The kid who started the business, his dad was funding it, and he said, look, my dad's a really good businessman, and he wants to cut costs at every corner when we can, so we want one person running our control room at all times. One person, and in that case I would say did the job of probably 8, because we added the element of the Skype, and the phone calls, and the audio board for him, and the communications, the set, and everything. Literally, one person handled 8 jobs, and it was all done backboned by TriCaster. Well,
you know, that's what's exciting for us. I mean, if our goal was to sell one to every television station in America, you'd sell 2,000 or 3,000. But our concept is to create a technology that will empower new people to get into broadcasting, because the definition of what it means to be a broadcaster is changing.
It really
is.
It
used to mean I was in linear television, but now it could mean webcasting, it could mean podcasting, it could mean linear broadcasting, but there's so many, it's now a more inclusive designation. A broadcaster includes a lot more different segments now.
And I think when you guys started, people bought it for their mobile live trucks to have and be able to do mobile events, and now it can literally, it could have then, but now it's really becoming it's still doing that stuff, but becoming the backbone of a lot of studios as well.
It is.
And I heard that you can also AirPlay right into the system now?
Yeah, we have AirPlay support, and what's cool is our clients, and a year ago we did a study of our customers, and a year ago we found out that Newtek clients are doing over 60,000 hours of video a week.
Wow.
And 40,000 of that is live. And that was a year ago, and we've been selling TriCaster as fast as we can make it, so I'm really scared to know the numbers now. But you know, the reason I tell you that is, we've changed the paradigm, and now we are the standard.
Yeah.
We're the leader, and we continue to innovate. You know, one of Newtek's goals and one of our core beliefs is we have a very fast pace of innovation. You know, we want to make new things very quickly, and make it really cool, and make upgrades, and keep pushing forward, because we know there are people trying to catch us. You know, and also we have so much category expertise. We've been doing this for 30 years.
Well, I think the most interesting part is you guys are the original in not using a hard wired switcher, the box, right? And now there are a lot of them, but for a long time you were the only one, and you're the original one, but it's so interesting that you basically created that space. And I remember just a few years ago, there was a camera company, when I was doing this studio, that came to us. We were talking about using their robotic cameras so that we didn't have to have anybody operating them.
Right.
And they said, oh, what switcher are you using? And I said, yeah, we got the TriCaster, and it was like a day out. It was still in UPS. He said, send it back. You got to buy this. This is what we make. I said, no, the TriCaster is awesome. This is what we're using. And it does this. He said, yes, but do you want a computer to do it, or do you want a box that you know isn't going to fail?
You know what? Your car is a computer. Your watch is a computer, and every piece of hardware has a computer in it, and that's what's interesting. You know, the real challenge is when there's a big paradigm shift, the old school guys are protective of what they used to do.
And I was like, but your thing is so limiting, it doesn't let me do bop, 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 and this thing doesn't fail. So I'm going with TriCaster, thank you very much, sell me your cameras and get out.
Right, well, you know, and I know you asked me about replay, but, and I did a,
I'm getting back to there,
this is a very long answer to that, but you know, I mean, we are very innovative at Newtek, and we're looking for new ways to improve broadcast workflows and create new workflows. And that's why I wanted to talk about TriCaster and how we pioneered that. But then we go to replay. Replay is a critical piece of any sporting event.
Absolutely.
And it's been out of reach of 99% because in the traditional old school equipment, you could spend $250,000 on a nice multi-channel replay system. But with our three play, you know, the highest end is around $40,000, which is a lot. But we just announced the 3-play 425 was $25,000. Gave you 6 channels, 4 in, 2 out. But here at NAB, we just announced that we've lowered the price on the 3-play 425 from $24.95 to under $10,000.
Wow, that is amazing.
Same product that a month ago you had spent 25 grand on, and we were selling them as fast as we could make them. You can now buy for under 10 grand. And the reason we did that is we want to democratize instant replay, whether it's high schools or colleges, or even just time-shifting events. This week, the Academy of Country Music Awards were here in Vegas. You probably had to avoid all the people in boots and cowboy hats this weekend as y'all were getting set up. But you know, they actually used a TriCaster and a 3-play, and they time-shifted the show by half an hour to match the linear broadcast.
That's unbelievable.
So used a 3-play for that, and now that same product is $15,000 less expensive.
That's unreal.
And then we have another mid-level 3-play that is around $25,000. So now there's a full line that starts at $10,000 and goes up to $30,000, so that you can find the right 3-play that fits your production needs.
That's awesome. That is so amazing. So my only question for that is, can you make them fast enough?
You know what? We work hard to make them fast enough. You know, it's a good problem to have. It's way better to have too much demand than to have a warehouse full of a product that no one wants.
That's very true.
And we TriCaster and 3-play do fly off the shelves, and we're really thankful and excited that, you know, to be the leader, and we do take it seriously, and we want to continue to innovate and keep that lead that we have over everyone else.
It's awesome. You guys are doing some really, really great stuff over there, and I love the video replay system, but I also love the interface and how to operate it, how easy it is.
That's a great point to make, because historically, like with an EVS style system, you had to be trained and be really efficient to be successful on like a traditional high-end replay system. With 3-play, with a half hour of training, you can get in there and you're working. And then we've added some new capabilities because, you know, like the NBA Development League has just purchased 3-play 4800s for all of their teams, and they're doing official instant replay. So in the middle of a minor league basketball game, if there's a questionable call, they can go over to the 3-play, look at it from all the different camera angles, and correct whatever may have happened on the court.
That's amazing, and now you know you've made the big time because they're using it in an official capacity.
Yes.
You know, look, if a replay got screwed up, even in a live television broadcast, even the Super Bowl, or if a replay got screwed up, no big deal. It's life, right? People, you know, you survive. Life goes on.
It's entertainment side of it.
Right, but if you screw up the actual game.
That's right.
So for them to
when
have selected
there's a call
you,
that could change the outcome of a game,
that's dependent on.
It's a mission critical.
Right, it's mission critical. It's dependent on you guys. That's terrific. Congratulations. That's really great.
It's a nice endorsement for 3-play and all the entire Newtek TriCaster line, because their workflow is they have a TriCaster, 860 I think, and then a 3-play, and so they're using the 3-play for the official instant replay, but they're also able to feed it into the TriCaster and use that in the live webcast as well.
That's awesome, the NBA D-League. So let me ask you about 4K. Okay. What's the deal? Let's go high end and then let's go real low end, and we only have a few minutes to do it, but what's going to happen with 4K? Are you guys prepared? Are you already doing it?
You know, 4K, and all the experts that I talk to, the only place that 4K really makes sense is in instant replay, where you need to zoom in on an image. But for the average guy at home, I'm not even getting uncompressed high def at home.
Right.
I mean, my cable is highly compressed HD, and so the average, I would say not average, I mean probably 90% of the people out there will not be able to tell the difference between a 4K image or a non-4K image.
Well, I would agree, I say this all the time.
We always, I mean our CTO just did a talk yesterday for NAB on 4K, but TriCaster's not 4K and neither is the 3Play, and we're always looking at should we go there, but right now it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's like buying a high-def TV in 1985 and you were 15 years away from any channels that could use it.
Right,
so
this is what
I think it's a lot of buzz right now,
yeah.
And it's a great thing for people that want to sell you a $40,000 television and new cameras and upgrade all your cameras, but for nuts and bolts production, I don't think it's quite ready there. Quite ready yet.
And for filmmaking, it's one thing,
yeah.
But for
live
TV,
production, big difference.
Yeah, and I say to people all the time, there's no delivery method yet. There's no way for people to receive it. So
Do you have a 4K television?
No.
Does your cable network support 4K?
No. And
Neither does mine.
I don't have a 4K monitor on my computer,
No.
nor could any of my computers handle 4K at the moment.
Yeah, and so the thing is as a company that's trying to be an innovator, you always have to look at what's next.
Right.
But you also have to filter it by what's realistically next.
Right.
Because, how many people were talking about live 3D 2 years ago? And everybody's like, you don't do live 3D? That's the future. Everybody's going to have live 3D. And how's that ESPN Live 3D channel doing?
It's terrific.
They killed it.
I was gonna say, what channel is it on the dial?
That's what I'm saying. So and I'm not to make light of 4K. I mean, especially for digital filmmaking.
No, it's just not. It's not ready yet.
Our area of expertise is live streaming, live television, live instant replay. And it's something we've got our eye on, but we're not really focusing on it.
It's just not there yet.
Yeah.
It will be there. I think you know that. It'll be there eventually, but it's not there yet. Okay.
But back to what really is important. It's creating content that can go to any device.
Right.
And like my kids will go to a tablet or a phone before they turn on the television. And so everyone here at this show really needs to think long and hard.
Mobile.
What is their online strategy? And whether it's mobile, to set-top boxes like the Xbox One or the PS3
or the Apple TV,
but it's about convenience.
Yeah.
And in my house, it's not uncommon for 3 kids to be watching 3 entirely different things on iPads.
Amazing.
So
yeah. It's where it's all going, and that's why I've started iFilmmaking. You asked me before what we're doing. iFilmmaking.com is one of the big initiatives to bring all these filmmakers together who are doing stuff on mobile devices and create a community where people can talk and find out about what's going on and the best practices. And then we're doing a lot of this stuff on BeTerrific.com, content creation-wise, with iPhones and mobile devices. It's great.
Exciting.
And I look forward to when you guys are incorporating this stuff into your workflows. You kind of already are with the AirPlay and stuff because you could AirPlay videos.
Like you could be sitting here on your set with your iPad, and if you already had a TriCaster back there, you could say, I want to watch this video, bam, live through Wi-Fi, you have a video playing on your live webcast.
And then we could be talking about that video, right, exactly, and that's why I'm saying
that. So the control is in the hands of the presenter. I mean, because so many times in an old school broadcast environment, they would have to call for a cue and require somebody else to do it, and if they wanted to pause it, they didn't have that chance. Let's watch this again. You just grab it and hit replay. But that's really our sweet spot, is empowering anyone to make live television, whether it's for the web, mobile devices, linear television, making it affordable, because TriCasters for education started under $5,000, and then easy enough to use that NBA is using it, and the same TriCaster that's being used by the NBA can be used by a 5th grade class here in Vegas to do a daily newscast.
And that's what's terrific, and it's professional and high quality, but yet you have, so that was my question is, what is the entry level? What do we have on the entry point?
The TriCaster 40, it's four live cameras, component HD, and streaming, output to screens, does virtual sets. I mean, it has a lot of the bells and whistles. It's just the type of inputs are different, and it starts at under $5,000 for education.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Philip, you're awesome.
Dude, you're awesome. Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you for coming. We've had so much fun. It's Philip from Newtek, the TriCaster. You know the product well. I'm Michael Artsis. This is the National Association of Broadcasters Convention. You are continuing coverage on Ustream.tv, presented by Teradek. This is the Teradek booth. This is the Teradek show. The big chair. I'm in it. the big show. All right, we got a whole lot more coverage for you. Coming up next, Dan Chung is here. And you know what else? I'll be back at 5 p.m. to do the daily wrap-up show. We'll have the Planet 5D wrap-up show at 5:30 with the raffle drawing from Vitek. Again, Vitek Videocom, congratulations on the Video Maker Best in Show NAB 2014 award. Awesome. We'll be back in just a little while. Dan Chung is next. He's awesome. Stay with him. Be terrific.